Hi, Bobby. I see. Okay, I'm Odare. This is your Bobby. Nice to meet you. Let me start this out by saying this is the informed consent form.
Okay.
Basically, this says anything that will be shared in this meeting is of complete privacy. This is between me and you, unless you are about to hurt someone or hurt yourself, then that would kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
So I need you to sign that.
Okay, yeah, no questions.
Okay. So first of all, why don't you tell me about yourself? Let's start with your name. Let's start with your.
So my name's Bobby. I'm 51 years old. The court is sending me here because some old charges have come up. I haven't been in trouble for a long time, but finally some stuff has caught up with me.
Okay.
But I'm from Temple, Texas. I was born in Temple. I grew up in Dallas, so I'm from Dallas.
Okay.
I have one sister. We don't talk. My mother's passed away. My father is in a nursing home in Ohio with dementia.
Okay.
So it's just me and my wife. I'm married. She has a couple kids, not ours. We don't have any kids together.
Okay. So let's go back to your family. How was it growing up? How was your family dynamic growing up?
Oh, it was pretty rough. My dad left when I was 4. Married somebody else, started another family. My mom remarried to a guy that was really, really, really abusive.
Okay.
That guy ended up leaving, and so then she married another guy.
Okay.
And it was with this guy that my life changed forever.
Okay.
He had come home drunk one night, one too many times, and she ended up shooting him. He was going to stab her. I'm trying to remember my story. He was going to stab her, but it was self-defense, right?
Okay.
So, and this was back in the early 80s. So there wasn't a lot of, she didn't get in any trouble. She spent one night in jail. She didn't get in any trouble. So she lost her nursing license, but that sent her into a real dark place that she never came out of. And I lived in that dark place with her for, all this time.
Okay. So do you know of any mental health issues? Any?
When before that all happened, I don't. But I have to believe after that happened, there was a lot. Like I said, that was in the early 80s, so mental illness was still stigmatized really bad. So if you said anything to her, hey, why don't you go see, her being a nurse, she would just downplay it every time. Oh, I don't need that, So she never got any help. So I'm sure there was some stuff there, but that was after I was born.
Okay. Do you have any?
So I've been diagnosed with a high anxiety and depression.
Okay. Now, let me ask you about how would you say your relationship with her may have affected your life right now?
Well, I always would say when I was younger, I'm not going to be like my parents. I'm not going to be like my mom. And then if I have to sit down and look at it, okay. I kind of was just like her. I just never had any children to take my anger out on, but in a lot of other ways, I was just like her. Okay. Our relationship was very, she would tell me she hated me to my face, but behind my back, she would tell everybody how good I was. Okay. So it was really weird. It's like she didn't want anybody else to know how bad I was. Just I had to hear it from her, and that kind of made it worse. Okay. I did my mom dirty quite a few times. So it's not like the things that she said weren't undeserved, but it just always kind of baffled me. Like one minute you'd say I'm good, this minute you'd say I'm shit. So I never understood. Our relationship was kind of like that. It was a love-hate. Push me, oh, but I need you again. And I was the same way. She was a great enabler.
Okay. That's very, very helpful to that. How about, okay, let's get down to the dirty word. What would you say your current substance of use is?
So you want to hear the twister to this?
Okay.
I'm sober.
Okay.
I've been sober for 4 years.
Really?
So my current use is I don't use.
Okay.
Like I said, this case was something that I thought was over and done with,
Okay.
and it's come back to haunt me. And part of addiction is you have to deal with the wreckage of your past. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so let's start what you did in your past. What drugs you did in your past?
So I've done, I've done all of them. It started with weed when I was about 14 or 15.
Okay.
It progressed to tobacco when I was 18, and then eventually to alcohol and cocaine.
Okay.
I would get so drunk that the only way to drive home was to do some cocaine. Make a long story short, I've lost everything to just about every drug there was. I would build myself up and then I'd self-sabotage. Build myself up and self-sabotage. And it was always on a different substance. So I did them all. So poly user, I think they would call it. I didn't have a favorite over, if I was in a room and there was crack and there was methamphetamines, I'd probably do them both. I'm not going to pick one or the other.
So you combined the substances you use, like.
Oh yeah, of course.
What was? Why would you say? Do you remember the first time, like the very, very first time?
Yeah.
You used what? Okay, let me start. What substance did you use in that first time?
Marijuana.
Marijuana in the first time. Okay. How did you get to the point that? Why did you use it that first time?
Because my best friend, we got high with his dad.
Okay.
We smoked a joint with his dad, and I thought that was the coolest feeling in the world to be hanging with, my best friend, and then an older guy. Obviously I didn't have a lot of male role models. He wasn't my role model, but I'm assuming I felt safe, and so we smoked some weed.
Okay. Why did you? Forget where I'm going with this question. When did you? What made you more? Would you say that was your gateway? Like,
yes.
Did you? So you started trying these other drugs when?
Later through the years. Okay. Later through the years. So from 15 to when I started smoking nicotine, I've smoked weed. Sometimes I try to smoke it by myself, and then sometimes I smoke with my friends. But that's when it all started, was that, and it led to tobacco.
Okay.
Led to alcohol.
Okay.
Led to cocaine.
Okay.
All the way down the line.
Okay. Now you mentioned you were married, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you feel like these drugs affect your relationship with your wife?
When we've been married for 8 years. It'll be 8 years in September. And they had up until, 4 years ago, she was ready to leave me.
Okay.
She had found another place to live. She had already had the lease. She hadn't signed it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave me another chance. She said, hey, you're going to go out to this treatment center, or here's what I'm going to do. And I was like, okay. Let's go. And so I went to treatment.
Okay. How was your first time in treatment? What
Oh, it wasn't my first time. This was just the last time.
This was the last time? How many times have you been in treatment?
3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times? And you just relapsed every time, or it was more so? Okay.
I never, I know now, I would never change everything. I always kept something from my past, whether it was an old phone number or an old girlfriend or an old friend. And that just having that one individual in my life would always take me back.
Okay. Now, Was it more so a choice you were making to keep these past like mementos? Let's call them mementos. Whether it was a phone number, whether it was, an old friend, like.
I wasn't done.
Okay.
I wasn't done. That honestly, knowing now what I know, I wasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
I might have told everybody with all the seriousness in my heart at that time that I wanted to quit, but in the back of my head, my addiction said, "No, you're not done yet."
Okay.
Because if I was done, I wouldn't have kept those mementos. I wouldn't have kept, because okay, let's just take example, my recovery now. I changed everything. I didn't keep any of those things that I've kept from the past, and it's worked so far.
Okay. If you didn't keep these mementos, what's a fair question? How can I forward this for you? What would you say? Actually, you know what? How about let me dive deep into this. How frequently would you say you used? Every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple times a day.
When did you know? Do you feel like did you know when to stop?
In the beginning, I did, but as it progressed, no, that line got very blurry as to when the cutoff was. I always wondered why, when I was younger, why am I the one that's still awake and everybody's gone to bed already? I'm the one still up drinking or smoking or whatever.
Do you feel like that was it the okay, so when you were younger, you didn't drink until 21, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you were younger, it was more marijuana and tobacco and
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so in those moments, was the marijuana and tobacco keeping you awake, or was it more so because you wanted to drink, because you wanted to smoke? That's what kept you awake, or it was
because I wanted to smoke.
Because you wanted to smoke.
Yeah.
It wasn't due to the actual substance. It was just your want and your
craving or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
it just kept calling me.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you. Do you have any current medical problems?
No.
No current medical problems. Okay. Did you suffer any major Do you have any major surgeries?
Mm-mm.
Suffer any major injuries?
Mm-mm. No, I'm pretty healthy.
Okay. Did you? So nothing. No medical issues came out from.
Not yet. I mean, I'm being 51, I go and get checkups regularly,
okay.
And all my organs still function right. I haven't had any brain scans done, so I don't know about. But I'm going to school, so I must not have burned too many brain cells.
Okay, you're going to school currently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are you going to school for?
I go here to tech. Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to school for?
Hydro engineering.
Okay, hydro engineering. Is that so? Okay, so seeing that you're 51. What was your past working, or have you always just been in school?
Oh no, I've worked. I used to be an electrician, right? Okay. And then when I decided to get clean, I walked away from all that.
Okay.
And decided to go to school.
Okay.
And along the way, I've just stayed clean.
Okay. So is that currently all you do? You just go to school? You're not currently employed?
No, I'm employed. I work for AutoZone.
Okay. So let me ask this: how would you say your finances are looking?
Oh, between my wife and I, it's paycheck to paycheck.
It's paycheck to paycheck.
But that's 90% of people today. Yeah. So I don't think it's that. Okay. Nothing to worry about.
Okay. What does your wife do?
She is she works for a cell phone store.
Okay.
Selling cell phones.
Sales. Okay. Let me see. How would you say your social life is?
I just hang out with my wife, really. Mm-hmm. We don't have a lot of friends. We don't go out. I don't drink, so we don't go out to bars. Okay. It's really just me and her.
Okay.
I have a support network with through AA, but I don't use them very much. I'm kind of like white knuckling it right now.
Okay.
But I know I don't want to use, so.
Yeah. Do you think if you succumbed yourself to a socialization, that would put you back in the place of using again?
It's possible.
It's possible.
And I guess part of me is maybe scared, so to put myself there. But yeah, it's possible.
Okay. Would that be? Would you say that's the main reason that you anti-socialize yourself? Is that
probably because I like to be a people pleaser. I like to fit in. I like to blend in. And if I happen to be hanging around with people that are using, I'm naturally going to use. So that keeps me away from a lot of people.
Okay. Let me dive into your past a little bit. So in high school and stuff, did you have peers that you used?
I mean, I had my buddies I ran around with, but we were always causing trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Were they abusers, substance users though?
Back then all we really did was smoked weed and smoked cigarettes.
Okay.
We were still kind of young. I grew up in Dallas, not an affluent neighborhood, but it was Dallas. So there was, there were still cliques, and my little clique didn't smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't do any hardcore drugs. I mean, we would drink some Mad Dog 2020 every now and again, but it was really just smoke or cigarettes and weed.
Okay. Did you experience any withdrawal issues when you stopped using?
I don't. It's been so long ago. I don't remember. I'm sure I did. I probably got irritable, restless, and discontent several times.
Okay.
I would say yeah. I would have had to have.
Okay. Okay. How motivated are you to undergo treatment?
I'm very motivated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since you're dealing with legal issues currently,
Mm-hmm.
so that would be very.
I'm very motivated, and I would think that with my 4 years clean, going through a treatment program, I will hope that this would show the court that I'm trying to make a difference. I was young. I made a mistake, and we'll see.
Okay. Do you have any anxieties about this assessment procedure?
I do,
Okay.
because I'm looking at some time if they convict me, but my lawyer says I got a pretty good chance of getting off of it. So,
Okay.
but there's some fear. I mean, I kind of don't want to go to court that day, but I mean, I know I got to.
You got to. I think that's all the questions I have for you. Me personally, I would say your best course of action is probably going to some meetings. I would say show the court that you have progressed, because everything you've told me, you've shown that you obviously, after that being 4 years clean now. So that's probably it for me. That's all the questions I have for you. So
Okay.
Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. We'll see you again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Stressful, huh?